Yeah, I get tired of it. Like, I stopped watching Daily Show because they were talking about the Brittney Griner thing, and then he was like, it's a shame that they don't pay the WNBA enough in the first place that she would have to go to Russia to play. She's not poor. Like, looking at her net worth online, she's worth at least $5 million. Last time I checked, that's not poor. You're not struggling when you have a $5 million net worth. And then if you remember, do you remember when the news reports first came out? Remember when they were saying that they were lying, that she never had any drug paraphernalia and stuff like that?
Yeah, and then it came out that she actually did have it, and she had a prescription from Arizona. I mean, here's my take on it. Like, I get it. You know, yeah, Russia was going to use her as a pawn because the flights, I think, because the invasion of Ukraine, I think it was like 3 days. She got there like 3 days before it happened. I think it was like real close together, but you didn't hear about her getting arrested until after Russia invaded Ukraine.
Right.
So I can understand it was probably some politics behind the scenes of it. Granted, I'll give you that because it's Russia, fine. But Mark Fogel, who was a teacher, got arrested last year, like a year before Brittney Griner situation, and he's doing 14 years.
Yeah.
So, no, everybody trying to it's a race thing. Like, yeah, Russians are racist. I'm not gonna say, Russia doesn't have no racist shit with it, but here's a white guy who's a school teacher doing 14 years. So it's not about race in this situation. Like, anytime you go to another country, whether you're white, black, anything in between, and they found out you're an American, you are going to do time.
And I did a previous video on Brittney Griner. As I said, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yeah.
She's been playing there for years, so she knows that they probably have draconian drug laws there. And
she's gay, so you have an extra target on your back. Like, so a friend of mine, me and her were talking, and she was like, she think, and again, this was just made up shit, but she's like, there's a good chance that Brittney Griner was probably had the vape pen for a while, and Russia was just letting it slide. It's a good chance that may have been the case. She probably had it on her plenty of times, and they just didn't say nothing about it. And just, she kept coming and playing, but when it became advantageous for them to arrest her, they jumped on it. That could be the case.
Even that was, they just didn't catch it on her.
Or they just didn't catch it.
They didn't catch it on her person before because.
But I would say it's also coincidental. Like, right before you do an invasion of Ukraine, she gets caught, and then the story doesn't make it out to the public until after. So that could be the case.
I won't even grant it. I think it's just a coincidence. Like, people get locked up all the time going overseas doing dumb shit like that.
That's true.
Like I was saying in the last video, like Nat Geo channel used to have this long-running docuseries called Locked Up Abroad. Every other episode, someone was doing some fuck shit, either transporting drugs, trafficking, or just
something they had no business doing.
Basically having some sort of paraphernalia or something like that on them. Like, every year, a bunch of people get locked up in Jamaica every year thinking weed is legal.
Actually, it is. It's decriminalized. You can smoke weed in Jamaica. That's legal. You, like, literally, when I went.
Well, that's recently, because until then, people were getting locked up.
Well, yeah, up until then,
because they would go on these little Caribbean and Jamaican cruises, thinking that they can just.
Oh no, you can't do it on a cruise ship.
Thinking they can just buy weed and. People's American entitlement got them fucked up overseas, and I mean that happens all the time. So I really don't care, especially when there's people locked up here for minor
and doing more time
possession.
Now,
doing time.
Well, I will say this because a friend of mine did bring about this, like being locked up in a Russian prison versus a U.S. prison.
Again,
not the same.
No, yeah, locked up abroad. Like, it showed how savage these other
prison systems are. Like, right.
You don't want to get locked up overseas, and I'm not saying. I don't know if I was telling you off camera or in the previous video, but I was like, even in a a nice place like Japan, you don't want to be in their prison system. Still way worse than America. Like, you would think, oh, you know, they're in the, you know, they're kind of above us in some ways. It's a safer country to be in, but not their prison system.
Nah.
You don't want to be in their prison. Like, Locked Up Abroad shows you just how safer the American penal system is than other places, and we got our problems here. So I'm not even pretending we don't. But compared to other countries, shoot, you thinking you getting commissary or you got guaranteed meals coming, even bunk space? You might be on the floor with 50 other people in the cell. So I mean, depending on where you at. But anyway, that's a tangent. But the point is, like, you don't want to be locked up abroad for doing silly stuff that you can avoid doing. And like I said, she was just entitled to think she can go overseas with her little vape pen or whatever, and hashish or whatever they want to say it is, because
it's still a derivative of marijuana. It's a derivative of marijuana. No matter how you try to change the name,
and thinking a medical prescription from a state where it's not even recognized federally, that will be recognized internationally, doesn't make any sense. Like, she's stupid. I mean, she looks stupid too, but anyway. I'm just saying, people who go overseas need to do better. Like, you are under someone else's laws,
pretty much.
And most other countries don't play when it comes to, like, drugs. But yeah, I saw the thing about the guy too. I don't know if it's true or not, since I haven't heard much.
No,
about
Mark Fogel. That was another thing. He wasn't getting no attention. He's doing 14 years, but it's a true story. You hit me. No.
Oh, that truck.
No, the guy behind me in this fucking Charger.
Oh. But I think where it gets political is that, you know, I think they wanted to convict her before they could try to make some sort of exchange or whatever. So they want to exchange her and this guy named Paul Whelan, who
I know, so he was a spy. He's basically a spy.
He's basically a spy. Like, I'm saying, you got citizenship in 3 different countries and you're a policeman? Yeah, okay. And you're working as a security consultant? Yeah, okay, you're a spy. They claim, like, you wouldn't be willing to trade him for the merchant of death or merchant of war, whatever they call him, unless he was, you know, pretty high profile.
No, that makes sense.
So I mean, like I was saying, I know that there's some wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. That's where I think it gets political. But as far as her getting locked up for the drugs and all that sort of stuff, pretty sure that was just a coincidence that she got locked up the same time that Russia was engaging in this war with Ukraine.
Well, that could be a coincidence. I'm gonna say the leaking of the story is not a coincidence though. That it happened after the fact.
Okay, well, I give you that, but I think on any given day,
so she
would have got locked up for that. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up in case because we might be getting into an accident.